Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to the channel. A lot of you have been asking me to show you how to make a proper resume and what is the proper way to apply for Qatar Airways and what would be a good resume to apply for that. So I have already made a video on how you can apply on Qatar Airways. You can just check out the link, I'll leave it below. But how should you make a good resume? I think we do need some more education on how should you be having a good resume so that you get selected, especially with the AI and all the technology that we have nowadays. If thousands of people are applying your resume, if it doesn't match the keyword, if all the things are not matching, the AI will refuse your resume and then you would automatically be rejected. So, what is it that we can do? How does a good resume look like? A couple of months back, I had received a comment on one of my videos that this lady, she is struggling with the resume. She had applied a couple of times, but she doesn't get selected. So let's have a look at her resume and what are the things that I had asked her to change and improve. So now let's hope that she gets selected. And with that resume, you can also rectify some of your mistakes. You know that this is possible that you are also doing the same mistake, because not just this lady, but I had one of my old students. She was also facing the same problem, that she had made the resume and she wasn't getting selected at most of the places. So definitely there's something wrong with your resume. So let's have a look on what's happening here. And of course, I am going to blur out all the crucial information, all the important information about this lady. But let's focus on how does a good resume look like. Before we start looking at her resume, let's cover a couple of things that we already know. A good resume should have your name, your objective, right? Your contact information, for example, your mobile number, complete address, because you're applying for international companies. So you cannot just have like India or not just have Africa, South Africa. It should be proper address with your mobile number, your email address, so they have ways to contact you. After this, you should start with your experience if you're already experienced. So the experience, it goes with the latest is on the top. So if you are doing a job currently, that would be first, and then you will go down to the previous job and then even older and then even older. So it proceeds like that. If you don't have any experience at all, then you can start with your education. Same thing with the education. If you did your masters, then masters would be on the top. Before that you did bachelor's, then before that is your 12th, 10th, whatever. So like this you will move ahead with your resume, and then you will have your basic details. For example, because now you're applying for an international company, so you can mention your nationality, write your date of birth, any languages that you speak, because a lot of us, we do speak more than one language, because we speak English definitely, but most of us, we do have our own languages. So do not forget to mention your languages. You can mention your interests, your hobbies, like these kind of things. And in the end, there's a declaration that all the information that you have provided above is true and correct up to your knowledge. And then so this is the basic pro forma which everyone knows, but there are a couple of mistakes which we end up doing even though we know that, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. So let's dive into this resume, and let me know in the comment section if you also are doing some of the same mistakes, and then you realize that, okay, maybe I need to change this one. So let's start. So as you can see here, this is the resume. So she has put a picture here, and if you want to put a picture, that's good, well and good. But even if you don't want to put a picture, that is fine. A picture is not necessary, not mandatory. So let's start with the contact details. So your nationality, your mobile number, email address, and if you have your own address, where you live, that is also good. Then you can add your objective. So let's read her objective. Now this lady, she is experienced already, so we are going to focus on a resume like that. But even if you're a fresher, there are still things that you can write about. And also by the end, I'll talk about the length of your resume. So let's see, I'm currently in pursuit of a full-time employment opportunity with objective of initiating my career with a renowned and prestigious organization with a proactive and industrious demeanor. I'm enthusiastic to utilize my skill sets in order to augment the overall eminence of your esteemed company. So I think the first couple of lines, like these three lines, are fine. But when I come down, like I feel like augment, eminence, esteemed company, I feel if you have, let's say, one word which is like, okay, wow, like your world renowned company or something like this. But this resume felt like this objective. I felt like we can just have more of normal words instead of using these specific high level English words, because it seems like maybe you're applying for an English teacher or something. So it's not bad. Again, not all the things which I'm going to say will be applicable to everyone, and at the end, of course, you have to do what you want to do. Your resume should be how you would like to have it. These are just my suggestions, and it is up to you. If you want to take it, you can take it. If not, take it with a pinch of salt. So I asked her to remove this. Okay, after this, let's come to the experience which she has. She has an experience as a customer service representative, and this is the name of the company. So now she has added, prior to this, I acquired significant expertise while working as a customer service representative at this, a highly reputed online food delivery organization. So now this, of course, when you're mentioning that I have worked in this company, you don't need to write prior to this because it is coming to you anyway, right? They know that you have worked here. So nothing like prior to this, you don't need to add this because they know, because you have added here that this is my experience. So yes, no need to add prior to this. Then she has acquired significant expertise while working as a customer service representative at this place. Again, it's not something which has to be framed like this. I would rather suggest that she has customer service skills which she has acquired. So she doesn't need to write that I did it at this place, because that doesn't make sense. We know that she was working there. So of course she got this experience while working at this place. And then she added, this is a highly reputed online food delivery organization. Again, we don't need to talk about the company because these people, they would look for it if they want to have that information, or even if they don't want to have that information. Like, talking about how nice your previous company was is not really important at this point in this resume. So we don't need to do that. And then she's talking about how she wholeheartedly comes. See, now something like this is a good example of the things that you should be writing about in your experience. So efficiently managing a substantial workload, I had the opportunity to assist more than 100 customers on a daily basis. Sounds nice. She has effectively managed customer complaints, and she has showcased the ability to quickly offer suitable solutions with specified time frames. Yes, let's have a look at this, all of this. So she worked here from December to April, like end of December, so it's almost January. So from January to April, even April, it's just 1st of April. So she worked only for 3 months. If you worked only for 3 months, you don't have to talk about like how many points she has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So she has talked about 10 points, out of which the first point is just that she's explaining about how reputed this company is, which is not really relevant, not really important. And then a couple of good things that she talked about is these are the responsibilities which you had, these are the things that you learned. So you should more talk about the responsibilities, the work that you did. So you solved customer complaints, you assisted customers, you answered the queries, right? These kind of things you should be adding. Now let's come again to this point. Through my experience at this place, I have cultivated crucial skills in customer service, problem solving, and salesmanship. It is kind of repetitive, as you can see. First thing is, again, because we already know she's talking about this company, she doesn't need to repeat it again and again. And then this customer service skills was already mentioned above. So see, no need to write 10 points because you only work there for 3 months. But even if you work there for 6 years, because I worked at Qatar Airways for 6 years, now my resume, it still has about like 4 lines about the things which I did at Qatar Airways. And it is also important to note that if I'm applying for an admin position, I was doing my duties, fulfilling my duties at the back office because I'm looking for an admin job. But if I'm looking for a sales job, then I would talk about how I was dealing with customers, right? This kind of thing. And I focus on those kind of things which I did, that I dealt with customers, I handle customer complaints, like these kind of things. So no need to write everything down, have like 4 or 5 points. Specifically now at this point that she only has worked there for 3 months, I don't think 10 points is what she needs. 2, 3 points are good enough. And these things, if it were me, I would go through this point, that I effectively manage this point. Then also leaving the furthermore, I handled these things, and also this one, efficiently managing substantial workload. This one is good, and even this one, right? Refunding, facilitating seamless exchanges. This is also good. So I think if it were me, I would take these 3 points or 4 points, and that is already good enough. After this, you have education. Education is good. She has started with her graduation and then 10th and 12th, which is good enough. And then let's come to the skills. Yes, so she has good skills: public speaking, excellent communication skills. Okay, so you don't need to write excellent communication skills. Even communication skills is fine because you have those skills, which is fine. Instructional skills, leadership and decision making skills, listening skills. I think even listening skills somehow comes under communication, because in communication you have to speak and listen to the other person. That's fine. She's optimistic and confident. That's not really a skill, but it's fine. She's ready to work on shifts. That's okay. She has interpersonal skills, good, and conflict resolution, good. These are good. She has participated in some activities, so that's what she has. Then she has added her personal details. Religion is also a good thing if you're applying for QR, because if you are following Islam, then probably you can read Arabic, and if you can read Arabic, it is a benefit to you. It is an added advantage because their main language is Arabic. So even if you can read and write but not speak and understand, that is still useful, I would say. So what I suggested her was to add this interpersonal skills and complaint resolution on the top because they are more relevant, right? So in the skills, you can add these on the top. The other skills as in leaderships and decision making skills, if she wants, because she doesn't need to have like 8 9 skills. You don't need that much. 4 or 5 is already enough, because after 2 3 I don't think even people are going to read those. So you should talk about the relevant skills. So leadership skills actually is not really what you need, especially at the beginning of a job. You're a customer service agent, you don't have to take many decisions, you don't have to be a leader, right? So in that case, even if you omit this for now, that is okay. But if you're applying for a senior or a supervisor, then of course this should be on the top. A couple of things which I can say is, you can leave a link to your LinkedIn account. That is an added thing, not really necessary. To be honest, I don't even have it now. I don't have it yet on my hard copy of the resume, the one which I carry everywhere. That one doesn't have a LinkedIn account link. But if you want to, for your soft copy, then you can add a LinkedIn account. And then the other thing is, you can try to look for the keywords. So for example, let's take this vacancy. If I have a vacancy, something like this, then that you have to welcome customers, you have to handle the bookings, these kind of things. So then you can add keywords which are similar to your job, right? So you can, if let's say for ground services, they will say that you have to do the check-in, you have to do the boarding, and you have to assist customers, you have to smile, greet, solve problems. So then you try to add that keywords in your resume, so you can have interpersonal skills, communication skills, customer service skills, right? These are some of the keywords that the AI would be, or the software would be looking for in a resume. And if your resume has that, then you have an added benefit. And also, if they are looking for, okay, so you need to do check-in, so in that case, if you have worked in a hotel and you have experience in doing check-in for customers, then you can talk about that I have checked in customers, have experience in dealing with customer problems, customer complaints. Then she improved, or she corrected those things, and she sent me another resume. So these are the points which I asked her to improve, to change. The first one was that the objective is a bit too long. We don't need this long objective. It doesn't have to be 3 4 5 lines, like whole paragraph. 2 3 lines is good enough, especially that you are a fresher. 2 3 lines are good enough already. And then, as I mentioned, there are a lot of huge words in the objective which we don't use in the daily language. So maybe one or two, that your prestigious company, your esteemed company, or something like that is good, but not so many. Just like throwing words from thesaurus is not such a good idea. Then the description of the previous job is too long, and the description has to be within 3 4 5 lines, 5 points, as I mentioned, and she can combine some of these points. So let's go through the points that she has talked about. Prior to this, I acquired significant expertise. At this point is redundant because we already know that she was working there, because she mentioned the name of the company. So we know that. Then during the tenure, I wholeheartedly committed myself to aiding customers in securing exceptionally high quality fruits through our platform. It doesn't really add value, so she can remove it because she's only supposed to write 4 or 5 points. So I don't think this is one of the. If you just have to fill paragraphs, fill the page, then that's one thing. But she doesn't have to do that. She only has very limited words. So this doesn't really add value to that. Let's talk about this one. I'm now ready to apply. I'm now ready to apply my expertise and dedication to a new professional challenge. I'm confident that with my strong work ethics and positive attitude, I will make a valuable asset to your organization. This is not exactly a part of responsibility. So when, let's keep this in mind when you are talking about this job, okay? So experience. If it is my resume, experience, Qatar Airways, from this date to this date, right? And then I will talk about the responsibilities which I had. I will not talk about other things, that now I am ready to do this, now I'm looking forward for this. No, I'll talk about my responsibilities. This is what which is crucial. What you did at Qatar Airways, this is what is important. this point, through my experience at Fruit Caro, I have cultivated crucial skills in customer service, problem solving, and salesmanship. So first thing is she doesn't need to mention the name of the company, its reputation. The spelling of crucial was wrong, and this point could have been easily combined with any other point, and this is why it is again redundant. And then I mentioned her that she can add languages and the fluency level. So English, Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, or if she has any other languages, for example, if she comes from Gujarat, she might be speaking Gujarati. If you're coming from Tamil Nadu, then you might be speaking Tamil. So you can add those languages. And same goes internationally. If you're from South Africa, you can speak Afrikaans. You might be speaking Zulu. You might be speaking Xhosa. So you could add those languages. Then you can add your marital status if you would like to, so they can see if you're single, you're married. So somehow, sometimes it helps in making decisions. Then I would suggest is that do not try to add things just to make your resume longer. It's not that because your resume is 3 page long, they would think, wow, this is such a nice resume. So don't do that. This is just for everyone. I said that I would be talking about the length of the resume. So if you're a fresher, 1 to 1.5 page is already good enough. It doesn't have to be really long. It's, as I said, long resumes are not better. Okay, and if you already have an experience of maybe about 1 year, 2 years, then 1.5 to 2 pages is already good. It doesn't have to be really long. Then one suggestion which I have is she has mentioned about her skills, and in the skills she mentioned that I'm competent or I'm confident. So these are not really her skills, but this is more like her strength. So then she can talk about that I can work in shifts during day and night, or I'm confident, or I'm competent. So these would be her strengths, and this is where you can add the things which AI is looking for. So during in your skills and in your strengths, you can add those things, where you can add like what the things which AI is looking for, or the keywords which are mentioned in the vacancy. You can add those things. And this is it. This is, let's open her new resume. She has a simple objective, right? She has skills which would be more relevant. So she has interpersonal skills, compliant decision making skills, active listening skills. She's ready to work on shifts. She has excellent communication skills. Okay, so this is better. She has also reduced this to only 4 points, which is way better. Now the education is fine. She has done activities, and these are her personal details. She still did not add the languages. Oh, here the languages are here. Yes. So now see, the more languages you speak, the better it is, because Doha airport or any other airport, international airports, they do need a lot of people, because a lot of people are coming from all over the world. So the more languages you speak, the better it is. And see, for her, she speaks English, Hindi, Malayalam, right, and Arabic, because as I said, if you follow Islamic religion, then probably you do read and write. And also, she must have learned French in her school, college somewhere. So the more languages you speak, the better. Languages is something I would always ask you to enter in your resume, especially when you're applying for these kind of jobs. It is a must. And if you feel that you know a language only a little bit, then you can also add the level of the language. For example, English is up to C1 or fluent or proficient. Hindi is proficient or native, but French is still A2 or intermediate or beginner. These kind of things you can do. And now this resume is way better. It's much better than what we had before. And as I said again, it's up to you. You have to take everything with a pinch of salt, and you have to decide for yourself. These are just some suggestions from my side. And I really want to thank her that she was ready to let her resume be out, so that we can talk about it, so that everyone else can benefit from it. So I don't want to take any names because this is very personal, but thank you so much for being such a good sport and such a team player. And if you guys also want me to go through your resume, then you can send it on my email, but I don't usually check it. So you have to let me know in the comment section that you have sent it, so I can check it for you. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any more requests, then let me know. I will try to cover those topics. I wish you all the best with all the vacancies that are out there, especially with Qatar Airways. They are hiring people now. I saw some vacancies for I actually have it open here. So F&B F&B hostess, waitress, and this one's for wait and waitresses. Yeah, food server and duty free, and front desk airport agent. So these are some of the vacancies which you can apply now. I would also share links up for those in my YouTube shorts. You can check from there, you can apply from there. And I wish you all the best. Hope you get selected soon and give me good news. Okay, bye bye.